What's going on? It's your girl Killjoy, and I'm back on the paper route. Today, I got the beautiful Miss Faith Rogers here with me today. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know it's a beautiful day out here in LA, so you could be at the beach, girl. You could be laying out. You could be doing anything, but you're here right now, so I respect you for sure. So I know you're from Texas, so tell me a little bit about growing up in Texas.
Growing up in Texas, I grew up in San Antonio.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not from Houston or Dallas.
That's where it's lit.
That is like where it's at. San Antonio is, it's actually a really big city, but as far as like music, fashion, we're really behind.
Okay.
It's more of like a family city, you know. It's a military city. So growing up in Texas, life was pretty basic. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I come from a home with two parents, 7 siblings. So
wow, 7?
Yeah, there's 7 of us.
How many bedrooms did you guys have growing up?
Well, growing up, that's the catch. When I was born, all my siblings were already like 15, 16, 20s.
Okay.
So my parents, they started all over with me and my little sister. So growing up, it was just us in the house. But I do come from a really big family.
That's blessed. Okay, you were the baby, so you was getting spoiled.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
So growing up in Texas, there wasn't a lot going on. In high school, were you like, what were the type of things that you did? Like go to games?
In high school, I really was that one girl that was like the socialite. Like, I wasn't into sports. I wasn't into dancing, but you could catch me at the games.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at homecoming with the best dress. Like, I really was, like, I feel like a socialite in high school. And this was right, you know, before I graduated in 2015.
Okay.
So I went to high school in the era of when Instagram came out, and I saw, like, the change and all that. And but I really feel like the best way to describe me in high school was like a socialite.
Okay.
I knew a lot of people at different schools, so I would attend, you know, different proms, different things like that. So,
did you move around a lot, or did you just kind of stay in like your area?
I went to 2 different high schools.
Okay.
My freshman year, I went to Marshall, and then my second year, I went to this school called Brennan. And I spent the last of my freshman to senior year there. I graduated from there.
Okay.
So,
when you graduated, did you have plans of going to like college? What were you in high school?
So I went to college for a semester, and I was like, this is not for me. I hated it.
Girl.
Then after that, I went on a trade school. And I got a trade for phlebotomy and an EKG tech, and I was like, this definitely is not for me. But I did it, and I completed it, and I got it, and I'm certified.
Yes, okay.
So if you need me to withdraw some blood, I can help you. It's so many things I want to have my hand in, but I can say definitely working with young people, especially young Black women, that's like the #1 thing on my agenda right now. A push for me is a push for like young Black women who can't speak and stand up for themselves. So that's really the wave I'm on right now.
That's amazing, because there's not a lot of people, even women that look like us, Black women out there, even supporting, you know, the up and coming, or even talking to other young Black girls about, you know, things that can happen in their life and things that they can do with their life, you know. I'm sure you didn't know that you were going to be whoever you were, whether it's a model or whether it's, you know, being on TV, like that. There's never a route for that. So I have this segment. I think this is the perfect time to get into it. It's called the reroute.
Okay.
And here we kind of talk about what almost had you into another route. So you said you were going to go into the medical field.
Right.
But how was that transition of like when you're going into medical field into what you started getting into that led you to where you're at now? Were you in class one day? It was just like, you know what? No, this is not happening.
I felt like, unlike everybody else who wants to get into modeling, acting, whatever it is, I felt like that shift, it wasn't supposed to happen. I never, like, as far as even me being here talking to you.
Yeah.
I always saw myself as, you know, as something. But what I am now and what I am to other people is not what I ever imagined to be. After doing the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, you know, that's not something that people take lightly.
Yeah.
So you definitely feel like, okay, this is a responsibility I have, which is why I turn this responsibility into really my life, you know, because everything I do, there's always going to be that part of my life that's never going to fade. And that's really what shifted me. I went through something and it turned into something else. It never was planned. It never was kind of a strategic thing, you know. And that's kind of one of the things too. In real life, you go through things and you meet people that can literally alter your destiny.
Yep.
And that is scary, but I don't regret being involved with him. I don't regret meeting him because it's a lot of people I've helped, a lot of people I speak to that I don't realize the influence I have until I really am talking to these people. And it takes a lot, especially as a woman, when you come out and you reveal parts of yourself, the most vulnerable moments. And some people, they take light of that, and some people, they make it a weakness.
Yeah.
So as far as me and what I'm doing now, I'm recreating myself. I'm not going to be attached to that. I'm not going to be a victim forever.
Yeah.
None of that. I'm Faith. I will always be Faith. When I go to sleep at night, I'm Faith. When
That's a beautiful name, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Faith. Like, that just tells it all. Like, you have to have faith in the process.
Yeah.
And understand that anything that you're going through is because there's a greater purpose for it.
Absolutely.
Do you ever look back and be like, I wish I could change something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I didn't go to that one place that changed my life forever. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah. But I feel like regret is that's something that comes from a dark place. I feel like in life, we have a path. So no matter what we do, we're going to end up on the path we're supposed to be on. I feel like when people get off path is when you're too focused on what this person wants you to do, what they say you're supposed to be doing. There's a lot of people that, after the documentary, they thought that I would just be in hiding, and that's not going to be me. I feel like I said, I've always been a socialite.
Yeah.
So when things happen to me, it's hard for me to shrink because I know people are waiting for me to shrink. I've always been this big personality, so why would I let one small moment of my life when I have to wake up every day and keep living stop me from putting on makeup or dressing the way I want to dress or going here or going there. I feel like it's all a process. And not only that, I feel like regret, there's lessons in regret. I know, okay, what I would have did differently. Now I know I'm gonna do that a different way, So with regret, it's also a lesson and all of that. And I try not to be regretful about anything because had I not spoken, there's a lot of people I would not have ran into, including you. I would have never been here if I just would have shrunk, Yeah. So.
You told me that you kind of grew up with Instagram in high school a little bit. Do you feel like ever since the Surviving R. Kelly doc came out, do you feel like Instagram has brought people out to its light, whether they're bringing out positivity towards you, or do you feel like there's a lot of negative?
Social media, like social media is a place where they'll either praise you or they eat you alive.
Man.
So now it's to the point where things on social media, I can't say they're working in my favor now. At first when the documentary came out, it's like, oh my gosh, you're speaking against everybody's auntie's favorite. Like, how could you?
This is true.
How could you? You fast little girl.
They blaming it on you.
So now it's like when I get dressed, now it's shifted to I'm proud of you for waking up and pressing on. You know? And that's all I wanted to show, I guess, young women or just people in general, that this one moment never defined who I was. And there's so many parts to the story that people don't know, but what I've also learned, now when I go on IG or I go on Twitter, I'm really not, I used to be like, okay, I'm not gonna post a picture in that outfit because they're gonna have something to say about it. Now, when I post a picture on IG, I'm being recognized for my outfits.
Right.
So every negative, you can turn it into a positive. And I feel like that's the biggest thing with Twitter and Instagram. It's all opinions.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is you have a platform to where you can show your real self and minds will change. And if they don't, that's just what it is. Yeah. But social media is a place where I stopped seeking validation through. Yes. And I learned that off of being just in high school too. Like, I feel like you always compared yourself to if you were pretty on likes or did you see who liked that or you see who commented on that? I'm not even on that now. There's some people who comment the most outrageous stuff. I never see it. I feel like social media, you have to use social media with what it's good for because it really can drain you.
Yeah, it can.
And there was a point in time where you see me here and I'm talking to you, I'm smiling. It was a point where when I logged on my phone, I just wanted to log right back off because it was just nothing but negativity. And then I realized okay, I'm going to just give them what they want. I'm going to continue to do me. And eventually people who are for you, they will get that and they will see, okay, she's not weak. She's not doing this. You know, I am who I am. And this is why I have these conversations with people like yourself. And it gives me another platform to share my story as well, or just shed light that you can go through these things and move on.
It's crazy because, you know, talking about how you used to go on your phone and just like shut down. Yeah. Like I used to go on Instagram and be scared when I get an alert just to open up the app. Like that's how much anxiety social media ended up giving me, you know, at a point in time. And people don't talk about it because, you know, it's praised for all it's worth, but it can help you or it can, you know, make you feel a certain type of way about who you are. And I'm all about positivity, so that's what we need to be on, you know?
Absolutely, I agree.
Talking about, since we were talking about, you know, surviving R. Kelly, tell me how that kind of came out to you. Like, was it like kind of pitched to you? Were you able to go and did you want to share your story, or when you heard about other girls coming
So
across?
It wasn't really like a recruit roundup kind of thing, and I think that's the wrong idea that people get about the documentary. And this is just me personally, before the documentary ever came into thought, I already had a lawsuit that was going on between him, and I was Jane Doe. So it got to the point where a reporter had leaked who I was. And then after that, I found out that they came to me because they found out who he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing of I have a story and I wanted to tell it. It kind of was just like they came to me. And actually, they had no idea it was going to be as big as it was. Yeah. I felt like Lifetime definitely didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Even the production, like all that went into it is very as simple as me. I'm talking to you. It was like I was just telling my truth, and that was it. It wasn't a big, what do you have on him? You know, and I think that's the wrong idea being sold about the documentary too. And it really was just, it kind of was just something that happened.
Yeah.
And the circumstances I was already involved in, it kind of just connected the dots to that. And I was being told, you know, that it wasn't just me. There was going to be other women. And that's kind of what made me feel more comfortable with even talking, knowing I wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever get mad that the reporter spilled your name? Was there ever a time period of you being angry?
No.
You just felt like this is what I'm supposed to be, you know, helping other...
Because I kind of had a decision prior to that, like, was I going to be Jane Doe or was I going to be myself? And I kind of was just like, the anxiety of seeing reports of something about yourself, but you're listed as a Jane Doe, but you're like, I'm just waiting for somebody to like, just be like, this is
at me underneath this little comment.
So actually, I kind of was relieved. Like, that anxiety of that was worse than like anything. It kind of felt like I was like hiding myself a little bit because that's a part of me.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a Gemini. I'm an open book.
Oh, so, Gemini. Yeah. See, I love Geminis. I'm an Aquarius, so we get along.
We get each other.
we get along.
So that's how it was.
Okay. So growing up in Texas, your dad was a pastor?
My dad is a pastor.
He is still right now.
A pastor.
What church is he?
Truth for Today Christian Church. My dad has a nice size church, but it's not like a mega church.
Okay.
It's the same church he's had since I was born. Actually, he just got a new location not too long ago, but church is church.
Yeah, church is church. Yeah. How was it growing up in the church? I grew up in the church, so, you know, Bible study multiple times a week.
Yep. My dad is non-denominational.
Oh, okay.
So I still had a very much structured church life, but it wasn't, you know, you have to wear a skirt to church and all that. I didn't have to go all that, but we definitely were at church every Sunday. Bible study. I don't care if you're in the back on a coloring book, you're going to be in church.
Yeah.
So as I got older, you know, my dad, they didn't really shove religion down my throat, but they also made a point, you know, church is church. That's home.
Yeah.
So even when I got older and I went away from the church, that's still always going to be home. These are the people that know me, that have seen me, the pianist, the drummer. These are people who have seen me come up So church is home. They know me as Faith.
Yeah.
So church is for me, that's my place of comfort. I've never really been to other churches to know. Like, I have visited, but that is my home church.
Yeah.
So I will say, definitely after the documentary, I even felt a little bit like embarrassed to go back there. Like, it was just like hard.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want these people to judge you or think of you, and let's be real, church is a very judgmental place.
True.
So at the same time, it can be a place for healing, but it can also cause you pain. So I kind of just, I really had to learn, you know, church is church. That'll always be home.
Yeah.
But there's certain things I have to figure out for myself. So growing up in church, it gave me a foundation, but I did not say I abided by everything in the church. I always was the rebel child. There always was a little bit in me, you know.
Okay, you gotta pop out a little bit.
I always had a little bit of pop out.
Yeah.
So I felt like, I think my dad realized that about me at an early age. Like, they always tell me, you know, every church person be like, you know, you have a calling to be in the ministry. I'll be like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Ministry.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be at, but, you know, I will always be at church to support my dad. But as far as that being where I feel like I'm called to, or I don't live my life based off of church.
Are you still based in Texas? Are you like bi-coastal or?
Actually, it's looking like LA is about to be my new home. It is my new home. So LA is my new home.
How do you feel about LA since you're out here, you know, just as a spectator? How do you feel about it?
LA is very different from the South. But what I can appreciate about LA is it's also scary, but I can appreciate it. People can come out here and they can make a whole new life for themselves, a new whatever you want to be, you know? And I also appreciate it because this is a city where you can be in a room of people that look like nobodies and they're somebody.
Yep.
So I will say this is definitely a city of growth, of connections. But as far as me making this my home, you know, I'm from the South, so it's certain
it's different
values. I'm used to, I walk in the stores, hey, hi, you know, it's very like, stiff here.
What's this girl over here?
I'm used to being in the club when people, you know, excuse me.
Keep going. I'm about to get in a fight in the club. Hold on.
But no, I appreciate LA because it's a free city.
Yeah.
The people are different. The conversations are different. The fashion is forward. I appreciate it for everything the South doesn't have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do know this is a place where I'm going to grow.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to find out truly who I am.
Yeah.
You can never know who you really are until you get from up underneath your comfortable place. And Texas is my comfortable place. I like LA because it makes me feel like I need to do more. I need to be more. I need to be somebody.
To be up.
And at home, it's like I'm stagnant.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, I'm appreciative for LA.
Okay. Well, I want to get to know you a little bit. Okay. And I have this really fun game. It's called Off the Rip.
Okay.
And this game, you got 10 seconds to answer a question. Whatever pops up in your head first, go ahead and answer it. It's not going to be too crazy.
Okay.
I ain't going to get you in trouble or none.
Okay.
But I got you. Okay, we got the timer up.
Timer's up.
Okay. First question. What's the craziest thing you've done for a check?
I ate a roach one time for $50.
You ate a roach?
But it was a barbecue roach. Like, it wasn't like a real roach. Like, it was seasoned. It was dissected.
It was alive?
It was crispy and it was dead and it was in a box.
From like a chef or just like?
It was from like a candy store. Like they have like crickets and stuff, but I'm terrified of roaches.
Oh, have you seen Tyler, the Creator, when he came out because he ate the roach thing?
I watched that video one time and I never watched it again because of the roaches.
And he automatically threw up, so that's a good one. The next question, got the timer up? Okay. Who is someone of stature that you're surprised I reached out to you to uplift you? Just someone that you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that she was going to check
that you even checked on me.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of people.
Who's someone that like hit
Shaun
home?
King.
Shaun King, okay.
Leader of the Black Lives Movement.
Wow.
Black Lives Matter movement. He had sent me a message and he pretty much like let me know he stood behind me.
Wow.
There was a gang full of people that stand behind me and they had my support. I got theirs. That was a really good feeling because the Black community was the first community to tear me down.
Yeah.
So to know I have somebody who has a voice and really, I respect him 100%. So that just made me feel like, wow. Also, Gail.
Gail
King,
love.
you know. I love Gail. I know she in something right now, but mad respect for Gail.
That's dope. Okay, you got some people behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What's the craziest thing you did growing up that your parents never found out about? Or maybe they have found out, but it took them some time.
I guess they're about to find out now.
Ooh.
But so I used to do this thing where I would be like, okay, like I said, I was a little wild card. So they didn't want to send me to driver's ed right away.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I was like, okay, I never took the bus, but they thought I took the bus. And I used to, like, they would leave like 2 cars at home, so I would just take their car.
I'm dead.
I taught myself how to drive.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I took their cars to school every day. I would leave school early and leave after them, tell them somebody was picking me up. I'm taking their Mercedes, their Lexuses. One time, I remember my dad had got in it, and he plays nothing but gospel music, and I had some rap on.
Right.
And I had the seat up, and he got in his car.
Ooh.
He was like, who's been in my car? And I was like, I have no idea.
I don't know.
But they knew I couldn't drive, so it was like, who's gonna do nothing but sit in the car?
Right.
But that is my secret. Y'all know now, Mom, Dad.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you would get away with that. Like, they never
left
noticed?
their keys. No, like, I would come home before them. So I'm putting the keys right back up
Right,
there.
I'm good.
School was great,
Gucci.
Dad. It was great.
You pull up to school like, damn, how many cars you got?
They thought I was so cool. Whole time, if we get pulled over, we're all going to jail. Don't even worry about it.
The gag is y'all didn't even know. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what you want to do to make money right now. So what are some of your money moves right now, ever since, you finished up with the documentary? What are some of the things that you've been working on, like, recently?
Right now, I have a nonprofit that's about
dope.
to get started. Like I said, my number one passion right now is young women and women in general. Like, I feel like it's time for me to make my mark in the world.
Yeah.
And I want to work with young women. I want to show them. I want to talk to them. I want to hug them. I want to do so much with women.
I love that.
And a nonprofit really gives me the push and the motivation to do that. Not only that, I personally, just growing up, having my family is nothing but women. And I've seen the traumas of women and how it affects and goes down the line.
Yep.
And I know for me and mine, I don't want that. And that would be my way to kind of help some lives, really. That's not gonna make me money. It's a nonprofit, but it's a major move. And I know eventually, if I put in the work I'm supposed to, money will come.
Yeah.
But I'm really focused on making my mark away from the documentary. Also, I'm getting involved into acting.
I love it.
So I don't know what film you're gonna see me in, but you will see me in something really soon. Modeling as well, which I did that in LA. I had my first show here, my first major show. I walked for Deviant Levine and Alani Taylor here. And those are really major highlights that really started the modeling for me.
Yeah.
So modeling is another thing as well. So all of those things are on my list as far as the money moves in 2020.
Okay. I love all of those, especially jumping into film and TV because, girl, let me tell you right now, that's where the checks are at. That's where the money's at. So I'm going to go into this next segment. It's called Tipping. This is where our audience asks you, DMs us questions about you. So we got a couple questions from fans. Faith, your bio on Instagram says nobody's a role model. Do you feel like that is a reflection of the pressures you may have felt growing up in a faith-based background or the expectations people may have for you after being an advocate of sexual assault?
Yeah. Nobody's role model. I feel like I changed my bio to that because after the documentary, there's a lot of pressure. Like, people want you to write books.
Yep.
You can't do all that until you get to a place of, like, healing.
Yeah.
And I'm 22. Those women that were in the documentary with me, a lot of them were 40, 30. They've already had children. They've already been married. It's a lot I haven't experienced to where I can't tell you how to come out of that. And let's just be real. It's so much I revealed on myself. I'm not going to keep revealing stuff that I don't feel like is beneficial to people.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm not going to keep doing it just for a check because that's what would sell, you know? I'm not at a place where I feel like I'm such a motivational speaker. Can I tell you how to make it up out of a situation I can relate to? Absolutely. But I felt like after the documentary, there was so much pressure. Like, even women in my DMs, like, telling me things or sending me things that I wasn't even ready for. And it's like, I don't feel like I am anybody's role model yet. I would love to inspire women. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But know that I'm still in the process of creating myself. Like I said, there's a lot that people don't know. So it's a lot of behind the scenes that you go through. And it's like there's pressure on you to come out with smiles and say you're okay. Or say, and I don't even like the word victim, because I don't feel like I'm a victim. I'm a young woman, and let's be clear, I made a choice to be involved with that person.
Yeah.
Do I feel like everything he did was right? Hell no.
Yeah.
But I had a choice, and that's why I walked away.
Yeah.
I did not move in with him. I did not live with him. I did not take any money from him.
Yeah.
There's a choice you have. And I want people to know that it's all a process. I don't wake up every day and I'm smiling and I'm happy. There's days I don't want to get out of bed. Like, I'm crying, I can't get up. And there's days that I don't even have the confidence to, you know, stand up in a man's face and tell him what I've been through.
Yeah.
You know, they see that, but they don't know, you know, really the inside of me and the trauma and the hurt that I have too, my own anxiety, my own fears. So I don't want you to come on my page and you jotting down everything I'm doing, because that's not, I'm nobody's role model until I get to a place of healing. When I'm 100% healed, and this is a part of my healing, when I can talk about it and things like that, but I'm definitely, I don't feel like I'm at a place to be called a role model.
Okay, no, I 100% agree with that. Like, you know, it gets easier with time after you speak about it, you know, over and over again. But sometimes does it get on your nerves if people tell you you did it because of money?
It's absolutely annoying. I always get called a clout chaser or a gold digger, but people don't know, you know, just because you hear about him dealing with somebody else and he purchased this or he did that, that doesn't mean that we had the same type of relationship, which is why I was never in the house, you know? There's certain things I'm not taking, it's not a trade for a trade. Not only that, I'm very appreciative that I have parents who have always provided for me. Anytime I've strayed away from them, that was my choice. My parents have always made sure we were good. So when it comes to people saying I did it for money, they don't even know I took a major L after revealing so much of myself. I took L's I didn't even know were coming until now. And there's a lot of doors that have been closed because of what I'm associated with. But there's also, I know God is going to see me through, and there's going to be 10 more that are going to open for everyone
way
that
better.
But I do get tired of hearing, you know, she's a cloud chaser, she's this, she's that. Because if people were put in my shoes, your health is number one. That's a liability. I don't want to hear anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And I like I said, it's only that I'm lucky that somebody reached out to me after the documentary and they worked on getting me back to health. But that's not something that everybody gets the opportunity to do. It doesn't work like that. So I feel like a lot of people, they don't know. Like, it sounds good, it looks good when you get to go to the award shows and you're there. But it's like, when I get home, in my eyes, I'm still Faith. I'm nobody special. So a lot of it, you know, I just have to pay it no mind. And it's always going to be said. I feel like any woman that attaches herself to a man who has power and influence in the world, the minute she speaks out against him, of course, you're going to get called every bad name in the book. So it rolls off my shoulders now.
It's very humbling, like, just listening to you speak, because all the things that you've been through, I would never imagine that you've been through it, because you're very positive and uplifting, which is surprising it's going to be surprising to a lot of people, because if anybody else is put in that situation, to think about how you would handle it, not only with yourself, your family, but then nationwide across, you know, social platforms, is just like, you're amazing. So
thank you.
But last question from our fans. Hi, Faith. You are empathetic to people who are experiencing silent battles in their life. How important do you think it is to be transparent and build community, or should people respect privacy?
That's a good question. I could say, I'm in the middle with that because I wanted to be transparent in my story, but there was a lot of influence as far as me going public. You know, your story could help this person, could help my daughter, could help her, get out of this, get out of that. And you start feeling like you have to tell your story for other people so that it can help other people. That's where I was at with it. I will say what I have learned though, a lot of people, they get upset because they feel like, okay, you said so much and just because somebody else, they didn't say it, it doesn't match up. You have to respect when people, there's a time and there's a place for everything. Through my story, I have friends around me that didn't know they were being abused or they went through trauma until we talked about it. But they had to hear me be so open about mine to where they came in private to talk to me about theirs. I feel like it depends on the person you are. I will say it's kind of confusing for people now because I already was so public and I'm private now.
Yeah.
I'm very careful with what I choose to put out about who I'm involved with or dating. You know, I just watch the way I move, but I say ultimately I feel like everybody, you don't have to tell your story, you know. Telling your truth sometimes means dealing with it and healing from it.
That's true.
I feel like there's pressure when everybody is doing this, which it becomes, you know, it's an influence. You tell your story, the next person tells theirs. There's pressure when you see people being so open about their trauma and you're going through yours by yourself.
By yourself.
And that doesn't, you know, healing doesn't mean being public about your trauma either. Because you have to be careful. Sometimes being too open and vulnerable attracts you right back to the same people you're running from. Mm-hmm. So I will say I'm a firm believer in telling your truth, but do it on your terms. It doesn't mean you have to go tell 15 people. If that means telling, you know, your abusers, I guess whoever knows your abuser, if you get your freedom through that, opposed to, you know, it doesn't have to be a thread on Twitter. It doesn't have to be any of that. Because like I said, you have to be careful because what people don't realize, this is a day and age of influence and exposure. Everything you put on the internet or you say, you think it won't creep back up, you think it won't, it will.
It's coming.
So you have to watch and you have to know, okay, I'm the type of person I can take opinions, I can take people making me doubt my trauma because it's a lot of people that try to make me doubt what I went through. And you have to be strong in your mind. So like I said, that's one of those questions. It just depends on you and who you are.
And that person.
I have learned being so public has made me be so private.
Yeah.
But that's who I am. I am an open book. Anybody that comes around me, you might see me one day be the best. Tomorrow, you might see me be the worst. You might see one of my bad days. And I don't want to be one of those people where I have to ever feel like I have to put up a facade for the world, which is why my bio says nobody's role model. Because I can be smiling and I'm going to be crying in 2 days. But this is my Instagram, so come look at my outfit.
You coming over here just saying mind your business or keep it pushing because you don't owe nothing to nobody.
Yeah, nothing.
Look, you weren't put on here to make yourself seem perfect because nobody's perfect. Yeah. What are some ways that you give yourself self-love? Like, what are some things that you do to make sure that you take care of you?
Take care of my body, for one. Take care of my skin.
Okay, glowing over there.
Get my hair done. I get my nails done. I do the basic things that girls do, but I will say self-care really involves being real with yourself. The way I take care of myself, I'm always honest with myself. I don't try to make myself think that things are better than what they are. I'm real with my emotions.
I love that.
And, you know, it's just like there's days where people call me, you know, come in for this, do this. I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel right to me. If I didn't feel like this was something that would be right for me or for me, I wouldn't even be in this conversation.
Yeah.
You have to know what's for you, and self-care really comes with learning yourself. And throughout this process, I feel like I really have learned myself. I know myself more than I did when I first met R. Kelly, and that is beautiful to me because I thought after the documentary I was finished, I was done for. And I'm pressing on, and that's all.
it's all about growth. And, you know, like we said earlier, you know, everything is meant for a reason and things are coming. So on this show, we love to speak things to existence. So for 2020, what are some things that you want to speak into existence?
What do I want to speak into existence?
Maybe it's a bag. Maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe it's just happiness or love, whatever it is.
For 2020, my wants for 2020, of course, I want bigger bags, more bags. I'm trying to buy my mama a bust down. I'm trying to give my parents back everything they gave me. Ultimately, I want to leave this year completely free and healed from surviving R. Kelly.
I love it.
And whether that comes from work, meaning me doing something else to where my name is now Faith Rogers from such and such, no longer Faith Rogers from surviving R. Kelly. I'm ridding that in 2020.
I love that.
So that is my manifestation for 2020.
Yes, I love that. So let everybody know where they can find you on Instagram.
So I have Instagram, Faith Allison, FaithAlyson. I'm also on Twitter. I only got 59 followers. It's a private Twitter, but if you want to come see me tweet, it's Faith, FaithX, Allison, ALYSON.
So this is The Paper Route. Faith, thank you so much
for
pulling up. You are amazing. You are beautiful.
Too. Thank you.
And I just know great things are going to happen for you this year.
Thank you so much.
You guys already know what it is. It is The Paper Route.